So what I was going to say was that one of my Hoberman Shalavim always warned us that we should always prepare 2 speeches when we go somewhere, just in case somebody steals the speech right before you go. And there's a couple people here who heard my rehearsal, and it was quite uncanny that he almost stole my speech. Because in this week's Parsha, Parshas Shoftim, we read about Som Tasi Malach HaMelech, appointed for yourself the king. And as we know, as Mr. Van Bemmelen reminded us, Chasam Doma Melech. A chasam is like a king. So even though from a halachic perspective, not really a chasam yet to be halachically like a king, but I thought there's a few lessons we could learn, or at least I could learn and share with you from what the Torah teaches us about a king that I could learn about myself as a chasam. So the first thing is the Torah tells us in this week's parsha that for a king, the Torah adds additional prohibitions for the king. Lo yarba lo nashim, lo yarba lo susim, v'kesef v'zav lo yarba lo. He can't have too many wives, he can't have too many horses, and he's not supposed to accumulate too much silver and gold. So the reason the Torah imposes these limitations on a king is because a king has a tendency to, he's in the limelight, he's the king, everybody's here for me tonight. So he gets a little carried away and he forgets about the fact that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put him in that position for a reason. So with that in mind, I'd first off just take my first lesson of Chasam Doma Melech and extend gratitude to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for allowing me to find Sara and to be here with everybody tonight. So that's the first lesson, right? Oh, you get more, don't worry. The second lesson I'd like to share about on that theme of Chasam Doma Melech is not about the prohibitions he has, but the Torah actually adds a mitzvah for the king. The king has a mitzvah to write for himself a Sefer Torah and to keep that Torah with him wherever he goes. I think you may have mentioned that as well. So there's actually a mitzvah for every Jew to write a Sefer Torah. Everybody has to write a Sefer Torah, and most of us fulfill that either through participating in a community Sefer Torah or perhaps owning a Sefer, even just a chumash at home might fulfill our obligation. But the king has to write 2 Sefer Torah. He has to have that Sefer Torah that everybody has, and he has this additional Sefer Torah that he keeps with him wherever he goes. And the Rambam in Hilchos Melachim, based on the Gemara in Sanhedrin, Chaf Aleph Amud Beis, explains that the king, one of those Sefer Torahs, he's supposed to put the base Genaz of, he keeps in his storehouse. And the other Sefer Torah is the one that he carries with him wherever he goes. So, but the Rambam points out, and it's based on the Gemara, that it's a little, often the king is following after his father. His father was the king, and now the son is the king. The father passes away, he's gone, and now the new king takes over. So, often the son will inherit those Sefer Torah from the father. So, does he have to write a new Sefer Torah or not? So the Rambam explains that he can keep one of those Sefer Torah he can keep for himself, but he still has an obligation to write a Torah for himself. So I think along that lines, it's Chasam Doma Melech. So my loving parents are here tonight. They've raised me very well, instilled in me Torah values, and in my siblings. And anyone who knows them from Chicago knows they've done so much for the Jewish community there. And the Van Bemmelens have really opened up their home to me, and they've really treated me as if I'm already part of the family. Whether it's allowing us to use their car night after night, or even just being open-minded and cautious and understanding my cultural differences, serving parv for shalashanis, because I'm so gracious. But seriously, they've really gone above and beyond and really treated me like I'm part of the family, and I really appreciate that. But I think the lesson from the king is that your parents could give you a Sefer Torah. You can inherit that Sefer Torah from your father, but at the same time, you still have to make a Sefer Torah for your own. So while my parents and Sarah's parents have given us that figurative Sefer Torah, that we should put our base Genaz up, we can put away in our storehouse, and that we should cherish that Torah and what they've instilled in us. At the same time, we have to write a Torah for ourselves. And we have to really, we got a tough task ahead of us to be like our parents, but we really have to work on ourselves to keep their Torah, but at the same time, to write one for ourselves and pass that off to the next generation, God willing. So that's just Smakar's talk to the parents. But one more lesson I think we learned from the Melech is that what does he do with that Sefer Torah? He has to keep it with him wherever he goes. So Reb Chaim Shmulevitz in his Musar explains that why is it that he has to keep the Torah with him wherever he goes? It seems a little much. He's got to really carry it with him wherever he goes. And he says the king is really serving as a model for everybody, because everybody ideally we'd be engaged in a formal avodas Hashem all day long, whether it's Talmud Torah or davening or performing acts of chesed. We would just do that from morning till night and be purely spiritual beings. However, in reality, we really can't do that. We have responsibilities. We have other things that we need to do in this world. And that's something that's great. That's the way God intended for it to be. But the lesson from the king carrying the Sefer Torah is that while the king is involved in politics all day long, at the same time he has that Sefer Torah with him to remind him that everything he's doing is really part of his avodas Hashem, and it's something that he really has to do with L'shem Shamayim. A similar idea I saw in the name of the Chassam Sofer. He explains that. Let's just go with that idea, actually. The question is for the king has that Sefer Torah with him, but Chassan Dom LaMelech, but at the same time, he doesn't have an obligation to write a Sefer Torah. I don't have to carry a Sefer Torah. So the Chassan, you're entering a new phase of your life where you have new responsibilities, like that king, but you don't have that Sefer Torah with you. So what are you supposed to do? So I think the answer to the question is if you find someone like Sara, who's such a wonderful person, and is really such a balas chesed, and from the first day I met her, she's so involved in so many things, whether it's HASC or NCSY, and just the way she interacts with everybody, she's just overflowing with chesed, and she personifies that Sefer Torah. So even though I'm not going to be carrying around that Sefer Torah with me wherever I go, hopefully I have Sara at my side, and she can help me make sure that everything is in L'shem Shamayim. And hopefully I can also serve as a Sefer Torah for her as well, and together we can put a little bias and never be Israel.